that you like, that you're...
He'll probably be in there now, so he won't be listening.
Oh, insulting a British workman.
He should have been in today.
Mental.
He should have been in at 8 this morning,
Just
which annoyed me anyway.
mental.
Why, I really don't understand why they've got to start so early, right?
Yeah.
But he said he'll be there for 8, turned up at 9:30, right? Wanders in, and what annoys me is, he could have left all this downstairs. He had a paper under his arm, one of those crossword books, and a pot noodle. Now, I'm not being funny, but most of them take up quite a bit of time. A crossword book, he's not happy with just the one that's in the paper.
If you're listening, if you are the builder that's listening now, doing Carl's flat, what about pissing in the laundry basket? That was Jane's Addiction. This is the Best Of Show on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
This was a clip show. We recorded this a couple of weeks ago. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. It's not over yet, because tonight at 9:50 is the second part of The Office Christmas specials. It's brilliant. Watch it, and we'll be back next week live. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Bye.
Have a great new year. Probably you're thinking, Rick, isn't it time that we do our usual roundup of what's been happening in the news?
Yeah.
Which we always do every week.
Yeah.
We always do something, which is, I mean, basically, if you're listening and you're a new listener, say you work at a newspaper, we always try to be informative, just try and put stuff out there that just educates people, informs
What are you
people.
thinking? Well, I said Monkey News is coming up, but what have you got?
No, I was just looking on the net there and just found a couple of quite important news stories, probably worth mentioning. Policeman caught photographing. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It's just the phrasing, I suppose. It's a headline. Policeman caught photographing up woman's skirt.
No, he wasn't up there taking a picture of Big Ben.
No.
He wasn't going, can I just sit up here? I'm just going to take a picture of that seagull over there.
No.
He was facing the camera up a woman's skirt.
He was indeed.
Right.
A policeman in Japan is facing disciplinary measures after he was caught photographing up a woman's skirt with a hidden camera while on duty. The 42-year-old sergeant, who's not been named, used a digital camera to secretly snap the shots when the woman was reporting a stolen bicycle.
So he was actually...
He was actually doing his proper job. He'd obviously thought to himself, I'll bring him a digital camera today. On the off chance a beautiful woman comes in to report a crime or robbery, I'll have it ready, I'll have it positioned, you know, in such a way. But this is interesting. This is how he got caught. Okay? The woman became suspicious after she saw a flash go off.
Brilliant.
I mean, this
Not so secret at all.
Sorry, did I just see your shoe? Your shoe just seemed to just spring in.
I had some magnesium that was on the end of it. It won't happen again.
But it's only you and I in here, and your shoe was just suddenly lit.
Why are you standing like that? Why is your shoe just sort of like between my feet?
There's no reason. This is how I always stand.
What did the bike look like? Flash? So, are you taking pictures of my funny?
No. And no, I'm not. And you should be wearing knickers anyway.
Well, how do you know that?
What?
How did you know I'm not?
How did I know what?
I'm not wearing any...
I didn't know you. I don't know what you've got up there.
Well,
I don't know what it looks like, and there's no way I could. Of course, it would be roughly that conversation in Japanese.
I know, yeah.
You know, you just mentioned there about sort of no knickers and that.
Is this gonna be your Auntie Nora?
No.
Right.
It's just, you know, like the last flat that I lived in, I always had a good view across the road, and I could see, it was the hairy... There was the hairy Chinese kid. Not hairy Chinese kid, he was just a Chinese kid, actually.
Yeah.
Running about.
Because that's rare, isn't it? Hairy Chinese kids are very rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's only one official sighting, isn't there? In one of those shit little magazines that you buy.
And there was the old woman who didn't move, she was just sat there reading a book all the time.
Who we think possibly died and no one came round for weeks,
But, and now I've moved, right? And it was quiet for a bit. I always look at what view I'm getting, right? Looks across, and it was just sort of empty, sort of flats ready for people to move in and that, right? Anyway, people are in there now, right? And they've put all the furniture in, but I haven't put any curtains up. Right. So anyway, I'm sort of washing up, just having a look out the window. Right. Girl sort of wandering about, you know, knickers on, right?
With no knickers on?
You mean naked?
No knickers. Well, she had a bra on.
Right, okay.
But,
she's probably looking for a knickers.
So, I thought, and I don't know how long I was looking.
No.
Right, but anyway, she looks across.
Oh, God.
I think she spotted me.
Yeah.
I think, oh, God. I felt really bad.
Yeah.
I said to Suzanne...
Sorry, is this some sort of Peeping Tom confession?
No idea.
Well, it's not, that's the thing though.
Peepington.
If I was peeping, she was peeping as well, because she was looking over. Works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, all she could see of you was your bald head.
Yeah.
No, but
and your hands moving as you were washing up. and some white-looking substance
A
frothing up.
particularly stubborn stain on this glass.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Imagine if she looked across. I'm assuming your sink is lower than the window.
But didn't she just, like, just cover up or something? Or she looked back and go, oh, you looking at my fanny?
Well, the thing I did,
What?
I thought, just sort of drop me boxer shorts. Because I
What?
thought, well, Suzanne said, what are you doing?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, just so they can see me cheeks of me.
What are you talking about?
No, because I thought, if she thinks I'm walking about in the nude as well, then we've both got something out of it.
Carl!
This sounds like a bad excuse in court.
I know.
So sorry, you were looking at a woman dancing around naked, right? So the only thing you could do was immediately drop your boxer shorts.
So she looked across, saw you fully clothed, saw you took your
No,
boxers
she
off.
wouldn't have done, because it's sort of just the top half and the sink's at a side angle, so I was sort of looking out.
So
This
she
is
wouldn't have
genius.
so she wouldn't have seen your trousers then anyway.
No, she did. I moved in front of the window more.
So you then made them. You actually climbed in front of the.
Oh, this is amazing!
So you climbed in front of the window to show off.
No,
your
it wasn't
your naked
obvious.
lower half.
Suzanne said, what are you doing? And I
I bet
said,
she did.
What are you looking at?
I sent you in here to clean
What
up.
are you doing? I'm just taking my trousers down, stand over the window. Why? Because there's a naked woman across the road. What do you think I'm doing, Suzanne? I'm exposing myself while looking at some free fanny.
leave it.
What's up with you, Suzanne?
Anyway,
Wait a minute, can I just check? A final question. What did the woman across the way? What happened? What was her
I
reaction?
didn't look again. I just thought you've seen a bit of action as well. We're both happy. Let's leave it.
Brilliant.
So were you waddling around like a penguin with your trousers around your waist?
I just was walking about, and Suzanne said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'll explain to you in a bit, but don't look out the window because then it's
Excellent.
obvious."
Then he sees, she calls her husband to look at Carl walking around naked. He goes, oh, she's got a... Quick, Suzanne, get him out. There's only one with him. Get some more friends. They've gone one more.
So you paid your dues.
Kings of Leon, California waiting. Steve, the public have been waiting for us to return.
That's true enough.
Alright?
Yeah.
They had the best of
Oh,
last
that was
week.
a joy.
They had Camfield and us without Carl the week before. But it's been a while since we've all been together. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me is Steve Merchant, and over there, with his little sunburnedy, baldy head, little Carl Pilkington. Alright?
Yeah. That wasn't Steve slapping me head then, by the way.
No, that was just him clapping, like Steve Wright in the afternoon.
It's a great show.
Because he's so, it is a good show.
Yeah.
He's so pleased that we're a posse.
Yeah.
And we're all back together. 3 holidays Carl's had this year, last year.
Yeah.
I'd love to have 3 holidays. You've got to start putting the work in there.
2 holidays
No,
then.
you had 3 holidays. You went away with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count.
It does count. If you book 2 weeks off the firm and you go away and you go, how was your holiday? Well, I didn't really count. It wasn't a really good holiday. Can I have them days back, please? My New Year's resolution is to be nicer to you, but
Well
talk
done,
sense.
you've already broken that.
No, but talk sense. Talk sense. You've had 3 holidays this year, and I'm just saying, you're in your 30s now, and 30s is when you should be really putting the work in.
That's true enough.
To reap the benefits in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100.
Carl, what's your New Year resolution? What about think before you speak? It's worth, I mean,
See, I'm
consider-
allowed to laugh. I'm allowed to laugh at things other people say, Carl. That one, that is a good suggestion. How was your holiday, Carl?
It was alright.
Right, brilliant.
But that I don't see on the kind of on the ratio of good to bad in Carl's mind. That might be amazing because we never
It might
hear
be
him
amazing,
sing the
mightn't
praises
it?
of anything.
I'll tell you what. Can we have a cracking little tune and then come back and hear about Carl's holiday?
I'd love to do that.
Let's keep it tight. Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. Now I can't put my finger on it, but that doesn't sound like the original, and it's off a compilation. It sounded a bit fast. I think the vocal was slightly different. If anyone can, put me out of misery, I think it might be in a session of the time or something.
Carl, is it a New Year resolution for you? Another one. Maybe when we ask you to get a song, get your
but-
session.
Yeah, it does seem different, doesn't it?
Very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we just remember it wrongly. But anyway, that's XFM for you. 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Carl Pilkington. Carl, you went to Lanzarote. People said don't go to Lanzarote. They told you it was Lanzarote. They told you, were they right or
They
wrong?
were right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit ropey, yeah.
Is it why?
Just, out there. If it wasn't for the volcano they had, they'd be knackered.
That's their big draw, is it?
That's it, basically. That's all they've got going for them.
When you landed, was it really hot? Initially, were you quite excited? You were thinking this is okay?
It was warm. It's, you know, we can't complain about the weather. The weather was alright.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I went for, but it'd be nice if there just was something else.
Yeah.
What did you do all day then? Did you read your ritual book?
No, I didn't read that. I read that book. Do you know the book that I bought and all the chapters were messed up?
Oh yeah.
I bought a better version of that,
Alright.
and I read that,
Excellent.
and then,
Did it make more sense in order?
yeah, a lot easier to follow.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that you know, pretty much, you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really? And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, no, I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah.
getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Okay, 4 million tons of concrete, please.
They're an absolute Death Star.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you mean, fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
Just hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than the
happened back
hole. It's
in-
more a portal to the magma in the centre of the earth.
Back in 1730 it happened, and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than 1730.
No, but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What would you suggest? How
Tidy
can they
up.
fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm
and
saying
the,
is, it was
the
a-
big
it was-
plates of the earth are all joined.
It
All
was
the
a disaster,
magma's
wasn't it?
joined.
With the Trade Centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes, they've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes, there's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes are there ready, just push it all in. That's what I'm saying.
What exactly is there then? Is it just a kind of moon-like kind of surround with just kind of dust and rock?
That's exactly what you see. I was there when the Mars thing went wrong.
Yeah.
I would have just sent a camera crew there, filmed a bit of that, right? And say, here we are. This is it. Ignore the little coffee shop in the background. Right? This is Mars because that's where it's like just loads of dust,
Yeah.
holes everywhere. Tidy it up.
Little round-headed aliens complaining. It's just like Mars.
Yeah.
So
So, is there any? What's the best bit about the holiday? Come on, pretend you're Judith Chalmers.
I have been doing. I would have done all. I would have said that. Don't bother.
No.
I mean, the hotel was good.
Yeah.
That was all right.
What was that like?
It's all right. Just clean. That's all you want, isn't it?
See, that's not quite what Judith Chalmers does. She doesn't go, "What's the hotel like?" All right, yeah, clean, isn't it? All right. What was it like? Was it what was it? 3-star, 4-star? Does that have a swimming pool? What was the
Yeah,
room
I
like?
had a swimming pool and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think it was one of the better ones on the island.
Okay.
Nightlife? Clubs? Bars?
Wasn't really any. There was a bar, there was some bands playing.
Yeah.
Not very good. Food got a bit boring.
Yeah.
It was always the same food every night, but they sort of themed it and made out as if it was different. So like, on Mexican night, it'd be chicken with a nacho on it,
Right.
Right.
and Chinese night, sort of chicken with a little prawn cracker on it and stuff.
Sure.
But that got a bit boring.
That's me just turning on my phone, 'cause I want to read to you a text
Right.
that I got from Carl. I think you sort of sum up the holiday in this text, don't you? Do you remember
I
it?
can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look. Let's go
Instantly,
to
what
it.
did Suzanne, your girlfriend, make of it? Similar view to you? That they should fill in the holes?
Yeah, it's just that thing, you see, I went on a coach trip, right? And you go and see the volcanoes. Like I said, there's 36 of them.
Yeah.
Which, how many do you need? And when we're on the coach going round all these volcanoes, the fella on the front's going and look out your left window at the moment, and there's a volcano. And if you quickly look out at the right-hand side there's another one.
Right.
And on the left, it's just like, all right, we've seen it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that trip, I mean, we'll talk about that trip in a bit.
Right, this is the text I got from Carl, right? Alright. Been up to a volcano. Been in some dead artist's house who built his house in the lava. They said they would show me science with volcanoes, but all they did was chuck some water in a hole and it shot up in the air. No dwarves in the canteen, no scousers here, but there is a Swede woman with a big head. She looks effing gormless with a cap on. Alright? So a little reference there to...
A Swede woman?
What's that mean? Do you mean Swedish?
Yeah.
Or she looked like a vegetable?
No, a Swedish woman. But they've all got sort of quite big bill, aren't they?
And I sent him a text. Oh well, it's just good to be on holiday because you know I'm working. He sent back. So am I. Just been watching Sky News. There is a school for monkeys who want to get a band together.
Is that monkey news for later?
Oh My Corazon by Tim Burgess. I can't get enough of that. I love that chorus. On XFM, Carl Pilkington. But it was a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's alright. It's just, you know, I went there to relax and that.
Exactly.
Did a little bit of that. Trying to think of some new, you know, features and stuff.
Sure, always working, always working. 3 holidays a year, Jesus.
Oh, not really 3 or 2.
It's all but one big sort of like work thing to me and Steve.
Two holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Work hard, you need the holidays. So, yeah, the things that annoyed me was like, you get bored sat around the pool after a couple of days. I'd read my book.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't much going on the...
Not even any crabs to throw sand at, was
no
there?
crabs or anything, they wouldn't bother with Lanzarote, right? So, decided to go on a little trip. That's when I saw the volcanoes and that, 36 of them. So, we go on the trip, and the thing that annoys me, it does happen every holiday that you go on. If you go on a sort of package thing, you have these trips, right? And you pay about 40 odd quid, and they give you some wine to sort of make it feel like you're getting your money's worth. But
how many of these trips have you been on then? Loads.
Probably about 12.
Phew, more holidays than I've had. Go on.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
so
go
anyway,
on.
so you're on the coach, right? And they take you for the volcanoes. They took us in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing else round there.
Sure.
It's like I say, it's like Mars, but with holes in the ground.
Yeah.
Right. And they sort of drop you off, and they go, right, everybody, see you back here in an hour. There's loads of volcanoes for you to look at, and a coffee shop over there. And you know for a fact, right, you don't need an hour there. You could just say, well, just keep the engine running, because I'll have a look in this hole, we'll get back on, give us 5 minutes. Don't need an hour.
Absolutely.
But you know that they've got something going
It's a
with
backhander, definitely.
What, with the coffee shop?
Definitely, yeah. They go there and they get everyone to have an ice cream and a coffee, and they sit down and have a fag talking to the bloke. Yeah, and it's like cousin. Yeah.
Have you
How
ever-
much was the coffee? Was it
Probably
extra
about €3. It's euros, so I think it was £3.50,
Sure. Yeah.
which is, I don't know what, that's about £2.5, isn't it?
Yeah, they stitched you up. Well, I remember we were on it was a family trip to France once. We went to Paris. We got a coach coming back from Paris to one of the ferries, one of the ports, Calais or wherever it was. Coach trip. It was quite a long coach trip. And at one point we were thinking, we're on the motorway. This is fine. We're making good progress. Suddenly we came off the motorway. We must have gone like 40 minutes out of our way. End up in this street completely empty, little French town. And it's pulled up outside this, what appears to be a restaurant, and a guy jumps on, dressed like a Butlins redcoat. He's French, but he's putting on a kind of English accent. He goes, hello, oh, thank you very much, top of the morning, good morning, hello. Come in, we've got food, drink, go upstairs, we've got rooms if you want to have a rest, or play around. No, it's up to you. And we all had to funnel off this thing into this restaurant, and this one family went, well, we don't want to go in the restaurant. We brought sandwiches, we just want to get to the port, we're not interested. And they said, well, you've got to come in the restaurant. They went, we don't want to come in the restaurant. So the guy said, well, I'll have to lock you in the coach. So this family were locked in the coach while we all traipsed off in, and I could just look, but I looked back and just saw this little kid with his face pressed up against the glass. Take me with you, I want to go in the restaurant. They were just stuck in there, I mean, absolutely livid, as you would be.
But that's definitely a backhander.
But we went inside, and it was extraordinary, because initially you had to pass through a souvenir shop to get into the restaurant.